For families with children who have Autism Spectrum Disorder, ASD, the holidays can be a complicated time.
And for many, the idea of gathering with friends and family is a welcome one, but they may worry about ensuring gatherings are comfortable for their child. So our friends at Blue Sprig Pediatrics made a list of thoughtful and helpful ways to support families with children who have ASD.
So joining us this morning to share more is the Director of Clinical Operations at Blue Sprig Pediatrics, Christina Way. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for coming in and helping us with this topic. Obviously, Thanksgiving can be overwhelming for any number of people for different reasons, but specifically for children with ASD. Why is it important?
Something to consider is that routine is very important to children, especially those who do have autism. And so when we're going into the holiday season, it's everything but routine. We're going to other people's homes, we're around people that we're not accustomed to being around, events are happening, and so it can be really overwhelming for some.
Yeah.
Christina, what specific advice would you give for maybe the hosts who are having, their family over for Thanksgiving? What can they do to help that child or the family in general?
Taking into consideration any type of sensory overload, stimulus. So it could be, if we're going to have a bunch of people in the house, we probably don't want to have loud music because that can be extra noise that is not needed. If we're having a ton of food that's out, all of those great scents and aromas from that heated food, maybe we can skip that scented candle that is burning typically in the kitchen, just to limit and kind of dull down some of that sensory input. Mm-hmm. Okay. A quiet place where the child could go to kind of escape all of the noise and the commotion if needed, take a little bit of a break, letting the parents know that, it is okay. Your child is welcome here just like everyone else, and that you're happy to make whatever accommodations are needed.
That was my next question was about that communication. How do we reach out to, obviously if it's a family member, presumably you would know if your nephew had ASD or something like that, but a lot of times with Thanksgiving, it's friends, it's new people in your life. So how do we communicate that clearly?
I think most importantly is just that sense of let's welcome the community, the people who we are involved with, friends, loved ones, and instead of having any type of specific stigma that we're putting on someone, just having that understanding of this is how we're going to present Thanksgiving. If you want to come over early with your child, you can let them get adapted to the environment. We're going to have these special things available. Instead of asking, what exactly is it that I can do for you, what can we think of? We have a list on our website of all of the different tips that you can do as a host yourself on bluesprigautism.com, and go through that and think, what do I have for this particular individual to help them?
Yeah, and these are just some that are popping up on the screen. So help prepare for change. How do you prepare for change, and what would you tell parents, some good things to do?
Planning ahead of time. Social stories are a really great tool. They can use pictures and words. You can review them with your child to go through some upcoming event that is happening. We've used them across the board for all sorts of different things. It could be an airplane trip if you're getting ready to have travel, or it could be something as simple as, what does this gathering look like? At what point are we eating? What are the expectations for that? And also, like I mentioned earlier, if your host can allow you to bring your child a little bit earlier, kind of get the lay of the land and what the venue is that looks like for the holiday before we bring in all of the additional people.
What's interesting, I didn't think about the smells too and the aromas as being part of sensory overload. So that's, what else is there? The noise, the smells, is there anything we're missing?
Just the physical number of people in the building too. Not
Okay.
all individuals on the spectrum do have the same sensory sensitivities, but having that, some of them will have that of just the number of people, the anxiety, that social fear of having so many different people.
It gets crowded sometimes.
Exactly.
Crowded kitchen, crowded dining room. Everybody's in line for food, or however that works.
And here's another one: provide a goodie bag with distractions. That's a good tip.
If there's something that your child does prefer to do on their own, if there are specific books that they like to read, if they are one who is very into their tablet, which I know a lot of children are, being able to have those comfort items for them that they do enjoy for when they do need to have a little bit of a break away from everyone else.
What about kids and other, maybe cousins, you know, the younger individuals that will be at these gatherings? What should parents explain to them and say to them?
That is a much bigger process, right? I think just knowing that everyone is unique, everyone is different, something that we can communicate along the way throughout life of we need to be accepting of others, everyone is different, how can we be judicious with all of the individuals who we do interact with, but then really right immediately before the event, we can also talk to them about just the differences of, hey, if this kid doesn't want to play with you, that's okay, you can try again later. They may have food that you want to eat, you could ask to share, but if they don't want to, that's okay. And instead of stigmatizing this, singling them out that this kid is different, what are the ways in which we can help them understand that it's okay if they don't want to do the same things that your child does?
That's a great way of looking at it. Before we go, can you tell folks what exactly is Blue Sprig Pediatrics and how do you help families who have children with ASD?
We are an ABA therapy company. We have 12 locations throughout the Houston area, and we provide one-to-one or group services for children on the autism spectrum, working on social skills, communication skills, daily living skills, and we also work really closely with families to help them learn tips and tricks for how it is that they can best support their child. And holiday time is a really great way to individualize and give more of those support to the families.
Yeah.
Right. And Christina, what is a website for people to check out for more information?
We are bluesprigautism.com.
All right. Christina Way, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.